after a long wait, we finally have our own 300 series trigger kit for fitting a Lightbar or Spotlights to your 300. I think it's the easiest one of all of them to fit. I've been doing quite a few different ones over the last year. So very, very excited to have these now. So when you get it, it's very, very simple. It's just this little unit here. So it's going to come as this bit, which I'll walk you through fitting it. But basically, that part, they leave the plug off it, so it's easy to get through the firewall. That's your battery power, and then this is to run down to the front with an earth, and then your trigger. So basically, when you do all of these, you'll still fit whatever. If you buy a steady light, if you buy RV lights, they'll come with a loom. You still fit that part. This is purely just to trigger for the headlight. So where you would normally tap into a high beam on an old vehicle, this is just to do that part of it. So very, very simple. This little unit goes behind your kick panel. It's literally one plug into an original plug under the kick panel, and then this will join once we've gone through the firewall. So I'll walk through that now. To start, we need to remove the battery. So 2 little clips here. He'll come out. Now, battery clamp down there, battery terminals. If you don't know, this little trim comes off also. There's a clip you release in here, pull him up, and then this push button here, and this whole trim comes out to give you more access. So, battery out, then we're going to cut the little nib off the grommet on the firewall. I'll get to that next. So I'll pull the battery out and I'll cut that. Now we've got the batteries out, so it makes this nice and accessible. Now down on this grommet, there's a little nib. Very hard to see. You cut the front of the nib off, and then that gives you a nice easy hole to use. Now I use a bit of old liner from MIG welder, but something you're going to poke through, and then we're going to tape our loom to it, the section that has no plug. So I've done that, and then we're ready to pull it through. Then we have to strip inside, so we'll do that now. All right, from there we've got to get access to behind the kick panel. So for starters, the little nut, which is up in here, it just screws off with your fingers and put him aside. These trims just literally clip off. They're really easy. This one comes straight backwards, so you can just grab him, pull him back, and he'll come out. And then there's my bit I've already poked through. There is one on the bottom of here, you can get rid of him as well, which has got these little clips that you push in, and it just comes down. Hang him out the way. You don't have to get rid of it. It's got the temp sensor thing in it. And then we're going to pull this through from the engine bay. I'll get someone to help me. Alright, now that we've got the wires through the firewall, our 3 little pins that we've pulled through, we are going to plug, this is the little section that comes with it. That's the bit that comes in the little packet separate. We've poked the pins in, and then you use this to line up, so colour for colour. Now they've got the little pin when it goes in is offset to the back, and then this little locking tab, which will come folded over like that. You push him up and push him in, then you got to make him click down. You might need pliers for it. You can go make him click in like that, so the tab locks, then they're locked in tight. The next bit is just under the dash, and it's going to be real hard to show you. There is a little 2-pin plug hanging down, which plugs into him. That one, it's literally just flapping in the wind under your dash. And then we plug this one in, and you can zip tie him down here like that. Then put all your trims back on, and we are technically done. We'll move back to the engine bay. So I'll quickly do that now. Alright, so the next step is to hook up our 12 volt. So we're just going to grab the positive terminal, put him on there. Now we've put the clamp back on the battery, battery's back in, terminals are tight. You can put our little cover back on up here, like that. So last but not least, depending on what Lightbar or Spotlight you're running, most of them will just plug straight in like that, and then obviously we've got to get an earth for him. So you can go, depending on where you're routing it to, I'd normally use that stud right there. And then you're done. You can just install the rest of your Spotlight loom as per normal, whether you just put your switch in the dash, whatever your brand lights comes with, but this will just get your trigger, and by putting your cover on there, this is a finished product.